everyone, it's me again, anyway, Black Swan, in a new studio. I'm in my car today. I'm gonna go Christmas shopping a little bit, do a little shopping, and I decided that, you know, like on the way up there, I'm usually on my way, like driving. Like, anytime I'm in my car, for some reason, when I'm in my car, I feel so relaxed. And I talk to myself a lot in my car, and I'm doing a lot of singing. So I was like, you know what? Why am I gonna waste all this energy on myself? I'm gonna actually do a video. And I'm not just gonna do a video. Let's do a Q&A. The Q&A I was supposed to do a long time ago, because I started to record the video, and during the video, I'm noticing I got the biggest makeup booger known to man during the whole video. Like, there's no avoiding it. Like, it's like a puff of powder. Like, the biggest thing of powder just stuck up my nose, and I'm just like, hey girl, and like, it looks so bad. So I was like, okay, I gotta scrap that. There's no way I can like put a video up and then that be it. They be like, girl, what's in your nose? You got mocos. Like, what's going on, honey? What's going on? So I scrapped it, and then today we're gonna revisit these questions. So I went, for context, if you don't follow me on Instagram, MUA_BLACSWAN_Black Swan. If you do want to follow me on Instagram, on my Instagram, I was like, hey, y'all know, ask me questions for a Q&A video, you know. Hello. Because my Snapchat, I like to keep that a little more private, with like a little more intimate. So I really don't add people on Snapchat anymore, because like that's for like my family time, and for me to like, for my friends, for my close friends and family to see. So it's not really open to the public like that, because I want something. I like privacy. I like privacy. I like to connect, but I also respect privacy of people around me, because like my family and friends, they are extremely private. Extremely. They ain't about that life. So that's why I love them so much. I'm the only one that I know that's this extra. Like, I'm the only one in my universe that's like extra. Like, yeah, girl, I'll go on YouTube and make a video. I'm the only one who really does that. So they can't relate. So anyway, I respect their privacy. That's Snapchat. Oh wow, I like really digress. Snapchat is for privacy, and then Instagram, that's when we can like kiki it up, you know. So in YouTube we can kiki. So what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, I went on my Instagram and I was like, hey, y'all ask me questions, and here's some of the questions that I was asked. One of them was, what's your favorite food? My favorite food. Okay, I don't know. I can't narrow down my favorite food. It's just gonna be seafood in general. I haven't met a piece of seafood I haven't liked. Like, I love any type of seafood. I eat raw oysters. I've had fried octopus. Like, I just like seafood, especially if it's prepared the correct way. Okay, honey, I will eat seafood every day of the week if I could. But yeah, seafood, girl. So tips for, do you have any tips for upcoming momtrepreneurs? I can never say that like little phrase right. Momtrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs, momtrepreneurs. You know, if you're a mother and you're trying to start a business, the best thing I can tell a mother that I still am learning and adjusting to, it's like a continuous struggle, is balance. You have to have balance. If you're gonna be a mompreneur, you have to find a way to make balance. And then there's times when, you know, like you get your rhythm. You're like, okay, I got this time to work, and then I got this time for the family, because, you know, being a mom really never stops. But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to stop mommy time at some point to be able to work, so you can make the money to provide for the family. So finding that time and that balance, so your kids don't feel neglected and you can still do your career, that is key. I feel like finding balance is key. Staying at peace Because especially if you're an entrepreneur, your business is the whole weight of your business is on you. And then on top of it, you're a mother. So you having double the stress messes with your own personal life, your own being. So I say you have to learn how to deal with stress better, or in a healthy way, so it doesn't affect your family. Because the last thing you want to hear is your kids growing up and they're like, oh yeah, my mom made, a lot of money and she gave me whatever I wanted, but I really don't know who my mom was. You don't want a Tony Stark parent, okay? Remember Tony Stark, Iron Man? His parents were like rich out the butt, but he didn't have a relationship with his father. You don't want to be like, you don't want to be Tony Stark's parents. So you have to think about that. You don't want to be Iron Man's parents. You might raise Iron Man. Your kids might grow to be great, but then again, you might raise Iron Man, because Iron Man is like really a jerk. He has a really good heart, but he's really a jerk. Like he's a narcissist, and he's eccentric. Like he has a lot of bad qualities, and hard-headed and stubborn. But it's what it is. You might raise a Tony Stark. So it's like either a good or bad way. So dedicate time for your peace and your kids and your family, because for me, the definition of success is being able to be with your kids whenever you want. Like whenever you want to be with your children, you can sit down with them and play with them and talk to them and go to the school events and then still be able to provide. That's success to me. Whether I'm making $20 a day or $20 a minute, like it doesn't matter. If I can sit there and be with my kids and be able to provide for them, I don't actually have to leave, or I have something that I can't get out of that I have to neglect my children for, then that's not success to me. That's not. I don't care how much money is attached to that. That's not being successful. Success is being able to spend the most time with your family in the least amount of time slaving at work. So that, and setting goals for yourself, like actually writing it out, having a timeline. Because if you're a mom, you need a timeline, you need a plan, you need to be able to map things out. Of course, things are not going to go as planned, but if it's your career, you don't have time to be playing games. You don't have the luxury of guessing, well, if this don't work out, I'll do this. Oh, well, like this kind of feels like a hobby, I'm going to go do this. Like, no, you need to make a secure, locked down situation where you're like, no, I'm going to dedicate myself to this career. I'm not going to bounce career to career to career, and hobby to hobby to hobby. Because then, like, you're not only hurting yourself, you're teaching your kids to not be committed. If your kid can see that you're committed to stuff, because that stuff rubs off on your kids whether you know it or not. Your kids pick up on that kind of stuff. Your kids feel like you're teaching your kids, well, if you don't like something, you don't have to stay dedicated, just quit. You're teaching your kids how to be quitters, and that's not a good way to go through life. You're gonna quit on friendships, your marriages, your family relationships, your jobs, sports, everything. You're just gonna quit. As soon as stuff gets hard or it's inconvenient, you're just gonna quit. So your kids see that, and they're gonna pick up on it. And that's not a trait that any adult should be functioning on. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know, like, that staying committed attribute of yourself, it pays off in the long run. Endurance, having stamina in your craft, that pays off. And a lot of people, they don't see that stamina that you have, or they don't realize how much stamina you have in your craft, that you have really endured a lot through the good and the bad and the ugly, and then they just see the good part, and then they're just like, well, how did you get to where you got at? So exactly, like, tell me how you got to where you got. and they want you to draw a blueprint when, you know, there's really no blueprint to this. To any art or entrepreneurship, there's no blueprint. You just have to find something that you're good at, make a plan about making money off of it, have realistic goals, and then no matter what, see it through. Stick it out and just see it through, no matter what. Like, you might even get to the point where you're tired, because everybody, I don't care how much you love what you do, there's gonna be a point where you are not in love with it, or you don't feel inspired, or you're tired. Like, if you're functioning on your craft or career off of emotion, you're not going to be successful. Your longevity is going to not be, I mean, like, you're not going to have longevity in what you do. You can't gauge how long you want to do something on how emotionally attached you are to it, because you're not going to stay committed to it. So make up in your mind that no matter what, you're going to stay committed, and you're going to see it through, and that you're not going to be so emotionally involved. It's so emotionally involved in it to where, you know, if you feel like, I'm just bored of it, you know what, I think I want to do something else, I see this over here, I think I want to try that, I think I want to dabble in this a little bit, like, don't veer off your course, you know, and just see it through. So that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, I'm sorry, like, I really went on a rant. So yeah, but all those things I was saying, like, I really do feel like it's very key to starting your business, period. No matter what you're doing, you gotta stay the course, you gotta see it through. It's not always gonna be fun. Most of the time, 70% of the time when you're doing something, whether it's YouTube, running a restaurant, whatever it is, doing hair, it's 70% gonna be not pretty or not fun. It's gonna be work. If you're gonna be successful, it's not gonna be fun. The fun part is having a business, that you're starting from yourself, or a brand you're starting from yourself, is the exact same as raising a child. It's rewards, but it's a lot of work, and you're gonna probably feel more internal conflict and external frustration more than the reward, because your kids don't, you know, you spend all 15 hours doing stuff, cooking, cleaning, running around running errands for your kids all day. You don't get a pat on the back at all for the whole time. You don't get a physical receipt or reward for all the work you put in that day. And that's how it is when you have a business. A lot of people, you go on social media and you think you see people getting recognition and rewards and people like glamorizing them, like, oh my gosh, I just want to be just like you. You see that part, but you don't see them doing all the other stuff that nobody knows about, that they're not going to get a reward for, that they're not going to get praise for. So don't go into it looking for praise, because you're not going to get the praise that you think that you're going to get. Go into it knowing that it's going to be way more work than you think it is. Whatever you're going to do, it's going to be twice as much work as you think it is, especially if you're going to go at it, if it's your dream, because nobody's going to believe in your dream as much as you do. Go into it knowing that you're probably going to have to go at it alone for most of the time, and if somebody does want to get on board, treat it as a favor, not as their commitment. Because people might say they're committed, but a lot of people have their own lives, and a lot of people are flaky. So you can't put weight on other people when it's your dream, because nobody is going to sacrifice the way you do, and nobody's going to fill your dream the way you do. So I was going to say that. I didn't even answer the question. Lord, I feel like I just keep rambling. Okay, so anyway, what kind of foundation do you use in your clients? I use everything, child. I don't leave nothing off the table. Like, whatever I feel like is gonna work for your skin tone, type, occasion, that's where I'm gonna narrow it down to. So I have all the way from drugstore all the way to high end. So like my most expensive foundation, it's, let me see, I have Smashbox, NARS, Becca, yeah, those are my higher end ones. My Smashbox, NARS, Becca. Oh yeah, no, I think my Laura Mercier is my most expensive ones that I have. I think those are more expensive, and I say that because I feel like I get less for the amount, and they are not cheap, honey. So I feel like those are my higher end ones, and then it goes down to NYX. I have the Maybelline Fit, and then I have like Black Opal. What else do I have? The Makeup Revolution. I mean, that's key. Girl, I even have like LA Pro Girl. I use whatever works. I use what I feel like works. If I pick up something and I just like, I'm playing around, like I'm just, oh, I see it, I wonder how this works, and I try it on myself and it's bomb, I'm gonna go back and then buy like a couple of more. I'm gonna buy like a whole bunch of shades, or I'm gonna buy the palette, like 3 palettes or something like that, and I'll put it in my kit. So whatever I test out and I find that it works, I'm gonna throw it in my kit. So it's not anything too specific, but when I have a client that I'm really not sure about, I always go to my Sephora 10-hour wear. I always will, because I have like pretty much all their shades, and then on top of it, it works with so many different type of skin types, and then on top of that, they have a real wide range of undertones and shades. So I'm more likely to hit the mark, and then it's buildable too. And then like, so I don't have to make it thick. I can put on 1 layer or 20. It's gonna look good on whoever. So I feel like if you're starting out, or if you just need something like a go-to for your clients, me personally, the Sephora 10-hour wear foundation is like key essential, honey. Like that stuff is remarkable. Like I love it. I love it. And so yeah, if I'm not sure about, you know, like, because NARS don't work on everybody, honey, and Becca sure don't work on everybody. So when I'm not sure, I go to my Sephora. That's always my good backup plan. So yeah, that, and the Laura Mercier don't work on everybody either. Some of the higher end brands, they don't work for everybody. So yeah, and then I think Sephora has like I think it's like hyperallergenic or oil free or something like that. So yeah, it works good. Okay, so what's the next question? Where do you see yourself in 5 years career-wise? In 5 years, that's real interesting. In 5 years, if it be God's will, I have my own building, like an actual building. And that's always was my goal. My goal was not to forever. First of all, my first goal when I went into makeup artistry was not to do celebrity clients. I fell into that. That's the answer to the next question. I fell into doing celebrity clients. Like, it just came to me. I don't even know how. I think more than likely, most of it was because like I knew people and they knew people, and then I got referred. And then a couple of them, they just found me on Instagram. They just found me on Instagram. I hashtag my city on all my pictures. And then they're like, okay, I'm in that city. Let me hashtag MUA. Let me find them. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how a lot of celebrities are doing it nowadays, because of, you know, you don't know who you're going to get. So, but that's how I got booked for celebrity clients. They hashtag me on Instagram, and or somebody who was on their team hooked me up with the gig, but that only happened like once or twice. So yeah, so mostly it was me. Mostly it was just me posting, being consistent, using the hashtags, And oh yeah, and then also I had people who follow me on Instagram at me when they're like, hey, I'm in your city, I need to find a makeup artist, and they will go in the comments and be like, MUA Black Swan, MUA Black Swan, MUA Black Swan. They'll click on my page and be like, okay, I like your work, can you come out this time? So yeah, so that's how I did celebrity makeup. And then in 5 years, I want to have my own staff. I want to have my own physical building. I want to have something that I can pass. I have the option of passing down to my kids. So that was my goal. When I first picked up a makeup brush, I was like, I want to have my own physical business. And I want to be able to come in, work with my staff, train, go home to my family. My forever goal wasn't to be doing faces my whole life, or to travel the world. It was to add to the economy in my hometown and have another black-owned business in my hometown, and me be a part of that, and me be able to say, I'm a black woman that owns her own business, and I could pass that down to my kids. That's what I wanted. So in 5 years, I want to be able to meet that goal. So I hope that answers your question. I love makeup, but my goal, I feel like, is bigger than, I'm just not complicit. I'm just not going to be content just painting on faces for the rest of my life. I can't pass down my brushes to my kids when I pass on. Like, I can, but that's not going to give them anything to build their life off of. So yeah, I want to be able to have assets and money, a whole business, properties that I can pass down to my kids. And if makeup is the way I'm able to do that, that's what I'm gonna do, because I actually enjoy it and I feel like I'm good at it, and I can make a really, really good business from it. So that's the answer to that. Where do you get your nails done? I actually, if you go on my Instagram, I actually tagged her. I actually tagged her on my makeup page where I'm like holding like my nails like this. So she's tagged on that post, and it's the nail lady, and she's freaking bomb. So yeah, it's underscore the nail lady. And in the next question, how did you get so good at your craft? Practice. And then also, I'm gonna go ahead and answer a few more questions I got regarding that, because people are asking like, oh, how are you taught? Are you self-taught? I'm going to put myself in the self-taught category, because I think I mentioned it before. When I first started trying to get into the art of makeup, not just applying it and being like, okay, this is good for the day, and I actually wanted to learn the art of makeup, like eyeshadows and eyebrows and stuff, I first practiced on myself a lot, because I never thought I would be good enough to do anything other than that. And then after, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see if I can learn, you know, like, and try to make this more. I'm just gonna like see. I'm not gonna make nothing big of it, but I'm just curious with how people learn how to do it so well. So then I would go to anything that I saw on the internet that was promoting makeup, whether it be like a seminar hosted by like another makeup artist, a free class offered in the town, or not a free class or whatever. Go on Eventbrite. Just go wherever, girl. I was just going anywhere and everywhere. And then conventions, like whatever it had to do with makeup, and I knew somebody was gonna be there giving out knowledge. If I had, first of all, if I could get a ride, a sitter, and I had money, because I had to scratch for money, girl. Like, whew, girl, the struggle was real. So that's how I got there. That's how I was able to learn that. But out of all of those, because I did that for about a year, where I was just going everywhere trying to learn whatever I could. Out of doing all of that, I probably remember, what I remember? I remember like 2 or 3 tips, not even a handful of tips that they taught me that I was just like, oh, okay, that works. That actually does work. That's good advice. That actually works. Other than that, no. Because one thing that I noticed with a lot of them classes and seminars, it's gonna be about the makeup artist, not the makeup. No shade, but true tea. Like, they would talk about themselves. I was like, that's great. That is great. I'm glad you came up from nothing, started from the bottom. Now we here. Yes, girl. Praise him. Won't he do it? But I need to know about makeup. That's where my $700 is going to, my love. I need to know what to do. And then a lot of them, like, probably 30 minutes will be makeup, and the rest was like, let me tell you about my life story, darling. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't ask. I didn't ask. Oh, I'm happy for you, but I don't want to know. Like, I'll read your book. I will read your book, honey. I'll read it. But it was just like, I think that should be for a meet and greet. If you are saying that you're gonna hold a class, I need a class. If you want to talk about your life and what you went through and how you got to be able to be makeup artist of the world, honey, then do that for a meet and greet, okay? Be like Jenny 69 and like get a whole thing together, a whole little VidCom, and then you be able to, you know, give everybody your lifetime story. But for me, I was just like, oh, this is what we doing? And there was like, ooh, girl, there was a couple of them who did that. I spent so much money to hear their life story, and I was just like, I didn't learn nothing. Did y'all learn anything? Because I didn't learn anything. Oh yeah, one of them, she was real bad. She talked about herself a lot, and then the people that she worked with, it was more of a, you know, a bragging type of situation than actual class. Like, she had a model, did her face, and she answered some questions, and then she just seemed like she went to her to get her money and get out. That's what it kind of felt like. It really didn't feel like she was really into teaching us. But as soon as people start asking her personal questions, like, how'd you become a makeup artist, and how'd you get so good, how amazing are you, she was into that part. But the actual teaching part, she wasn't so much into it. So, money wasted. How did you know you wanted to do makeup? It's so weird, because everything that led to me actually be freelancing was all basically like coincidence. I had my second child. Well, I've always been into makeup, but like when I actually really wanted to get into it, no. I had my son, and I had postpartum depression, and I didn't know I had it. I just felt like maybe it's because I'm not being active. Maybe it's because, you know, like I'm just at home all day. So maybe I need to force myself to do something and to concentrate on something to get me out of this funk. I just thought it's because I was just being too sedentary and not anything else. So I just started laying down there, and I just started looking at different things that people were doing with makeup, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, I think I can learn that. And then it helped me take my mind off of really depressing things that, you know, like, that's what postpartum depression does. It has your mind, it plays a lot of tricks on your mind. It plays a lot of tricks on your head and the way you're thinking, other than other things that it does. But one of the major things for me was I noticed how it was messing with my psyche. So I feel like makeup and me having to concentrate so closely onto detailed work, and also trying to figure out how this person was able to do this or do that, because at that time the makeup tutorials were not detailed, and they didn't have as many makeup tools to make certain things easier. Like doing a cut crease was hard, honey. Doing a cut crease was like really, really hard. So because they didn't have like 20 million flat brushes, you know. So I had to concentrate and, like, you know, be more resourceful when it came to doing certain looks. And I wanted to do like detailed work and stuff. So that really helps. And then I came to love it. I came to love it because I was like, man, there's so much things you can do with it. And then also when I got my first client, like my first like real client, where they made an appointment and paid, like from beginning to the end, it was a straight up business transaction. That's why I called my first real client. And also they weren't referred to me. It was a complete stranger that saw my work and then booked. So it was a legit booking. So when all that happened, and then she liked it, and it was crazy because I didn't like it. I'm super hypercritical of my work. I didn't like the work, and she loved it. She really, really loved it. And then that feeling that she gave me when she felt good about herself that day, that's when I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is it. I like it. So that's when I knew I wanted to do makeup. Yeah. Okay, this video is starting to get a little long. I know y'all have stuff to do. I respect y'all time. I'm going to come back and do a part 2. I'll do a part 2 and I'm going to answer the rest of the questions because I got a lot of questions and I really do want to answer them. Well, at least I want to answer like most of them. So yeah, I'm going to come back and do a part 2. Thank y'all guys so much for watching. I enjoy y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed me. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.